So I'm going to show just a couple examples of content that's already on the store. Can we switch over to the Elmo? Or whatever this thing's called. Thank you. We showed some earlier in the opening remarks. I'm just going to show a couple more. So this first one's called Zap. And this is a game that you can actually grab on the iTunes store today. Really quickly. And the idea is you have to time your things through here. Skill shot. I'm not really sure the premise behind the game, like there are these barrels coming through and you get ice cream cones. Anyways, just a simple game. It shows a lot of stuff moving around, pretty good performance. The next thing I want to show is actually a Japanese game. And can we mute the sound for a second? Okay. And so this is a Japanese game. It's called Moemas. Do you guys know this game? Apparently it's so popular. So let's see. Can we get sound now? Okay. So the premise behind this game, from what I understand, is you have a bunch of guys, and for some reason you want them to look at you. So there you go. You're pretty good at it. Okay, well, I'm not that great at it, but anyways, this was existing web content that the developer was able to quickly bring to the, oh, sorry, it's giving me a hint now. Okay, well, you get the idea. And let's show one more example. And I actually really like this one because it performs really well. So I'm like this little robot. Oh, okay, well. Okay. Anyways, I just want to show some quick example to show some content that is already on the store today, but is performing really well. There's a lot of stuff moving around. You don't have a lot of stutters. We're showing some high performance content. So hopefully by the end of the session, you'll know how to build that content also. So let's jump right in and talk about how you actually are going to build this content for the iPhone. Now, the first thing I want to emphasize is that in order to actually put your content on the device to test it on an iPhone or iPod Touch, you have to first sign up with Apple and get an iPhone developer certificate. So you have to join the program. It's $99 in the US. I'm not sure how much it is in Japan. But it's something that takes a couple of days. So if you're interested in iPhone development with CS5, this would be a good thing to go ahead and do. Like, go ahead and sign up for the program. This will be required if you want your content to actually run on the device. So let's actually, we're going to jump into CS5. And I have an existing project here. It's my new game I've been working on. It's going to take the world by storm. And it's called Unicorn Bacon Quest. It's unicorns in Japan, right? Okay. I'll give you the background. So anyway, so here's my Flash project. Now I'm not going to actually show the code, how to do this. I mean, essentially this is, Flash content, there's ActionScript code, pretty much the same as if you're developing for the desktop. But I want to show this new panel in here called iPhone OS settings. And when I open this up, now I have a lot of options in here for how to create my iPhone package file or an IPA file. Okay, so you can see it here. Now, when you sign up for the iPhone developer program, you actually have to create some certificates and some private keys, and those will be used to sign this IPA file. And that's what will allow it to actually get on the phone. So I put all that information right in this area. So let me put my password in there. And you can notice that we can create different IPAs depending on what we want to do. So there are two targets. Two different types of targets. One is deployment, and one is development. Development contains all the debug information in it. You can actually have it connect back to the debugger within CS5, so you can get trace statements or set breakpoints, everything you expect to do when developing the application on the desktop. And the other deployment targets. And the thing about, to keep in mind, when you're developing, you're going to be using the debug targets. When you use the deployment targets, it does a lot of optimizations to really speed things up. But it also makes the compile time really slow. Even with the debug targets, compile time is going to be about a minute to create an IPA file. And so I'm not going to, all the examples I'll show you today, I have pre-made IPA files, so you don't have to sit here for a minute and watch it. In general, your workflow is going to be build your content and test it on the desktop. And then every now and then you'll create an IPA file and test it on the actual device. So we can actually test this here. Okay, so here's my content. I'm on the desktop. Now this app actually uses the accelerometer. And I can't, of course when I do test movie, I don't have accelerometer data, so I can't test that within Flash CS5. But what you can do is Device Central in CS5 has support for emulating the accelerometer. So I'm actually going to open up my Swift that I just created. And you can see it loads it in here. And there's the Excel. Let's bring this up. And you can see it has this accelerometer panel, which I can now use to simulate the accelerometer. Okay? So before I show the game, I'll give you the background so you understand what's going on. So it's a little known fact that unicorns get all their magical powers from bacon. And so, pigs have a problem with this. Does bacon translate, by the way? Okay, well, salted pork products that are very tasty. And so your job is, you're a unicorn, you're trying to get the bacon so you can get your magic powers back. So that's the premise behind the game. And so we'll click this, and you can see now I can emulate the accelerometer. And let's see if I can get so all the unicorns died. I didn't get it, but anyways. So you can test this, and this is a really important part. You want to do as much testing on the desktop as possible, because it's a little tedious going to the device, testing, making changes, going back and forth. So let's pretend I created an IPA file, so I go in here and fill out all my settings and click publish. I'm not going to actually do that right this second, but you see here I have an IPA file, and I want to get this onto my device. So the way I do that is I open up iTunes, and I'll drag my IPA file into iTunes. And then if I look at my applications, you see here's the unicorn game. And then I can just sync. And it's going to take a second. And can we switch over to this? And so you can see it's syncing. Okay, there we go. And now we have my unicorn game. The unicorn. And let's see if I can get the bacon, save the, Okay, wait, hold on. So it's not done, I still have to do the story mode and everything. Yay, unicorn party. Okay. So anyways, you get the idea. So that's, just really quickly give you an idea of what the workflow is like to develop. It's very similar to what you do in Flash today. The only difference is every now and then you're going to actually move your content and test it on the device. Okay, so we can switch back over here. So let's jump right in to what I want to focus on in this presentation, and that's performance tips and tricks and things that are going to make a big impact on your performance for your content, for your application. Now, in general, most of the things I'm going to talk about will also apply to Flash content on the desktop. And also in general, just general ActionScript performance tips and tricks will also apply to, if you write good ActionScript code, if you architect your stuff well, that's going to help.